Hi, Ben. My name is Tammy. I'm a liberal.
Well, thanks for coming.
Pronouns she, her. I know that might give you trouble.
It doesn't. I can speak English.
Thank you. So, I appreciated what you said about the coalition of losers who hate the Western values. I'd like to add Donald Trump and his supporters to that club. So, guys, go easy on him. Go easy on him. He's sensitive.
I'm curious. Let's hear it. Okay, go for it.
So, Donald Trump's conduct was knowingly criminal and knowingly criminal, not only on January 6th, but in the lead up to January 6th with the false elector scheme. You, on a previous podcast with Lex Friedman, said, admitting that he was testing the boundaries of our constitutional system, and the only reason that he didn't get away with it because the guardrails held. Now, after the Supreme Court immunity ruling and the fact that he has a new VP who said he would go along with such schemes, there are no longer such guardrails. So would you now denounce that Donald Trump is a danger to democracy and ask him to drop out?
Nope. So let me explain why. So you point out two reasons that factors have changed, presumably, since 2021. The factor that you first cited was the Supreme Court ruling in which you suggest that the president has immunity, sort of blanket immunity. First of all, it's not what the Supreme Court decision says. What the Supreme Court decision actually does is it establishes three categories of executive action. One is an unprotected category of executive action. That's say the president sideswipes somebody with his automobile. Is he now free of manslaughter charges? No, that's not protected executive action. He doesn't have immunity for that. That's not inside the constitutional boundaries. Then there is stuff that is clearly protected executive action. Say Barack Obama droning Anwar al-Awlaki. Right? He gives an order to the military. He has the capacity to do that in his capacity as commander-in-chief. That's clearly protected. And then there's a big gray area. That's stuff where, say, the president of the United States gives an illegal order to somebody in the executive branch. And then the question is not, does he get automatic immunity? He does not get automatic immunity. Then you are able to show that he actually, that it would be a threat, that he'd have to show that it would be a threat to the constitutional order not to stop him. So precisely the reverse would have been true for Donald Trump in 2021. If he'd gotten away with it, that would have been a threat to the constitutional order, in my view. So that would not have withstood claims of executive immunity, which is why this was remanded back to the DC Court of Appeals, where Judge Chutkan is then going to make a decision as to which of those claims still hold from Jack Smith. So that's the actual legal case. Okay. Putting on my lawyer hat. That's the actual legal case. Then you make a second contention with regard to President Trump, which is what it was the Supreme Court case. And then remind me what your second contention was.
The second one was now he's going to surround himself with
with the VP. Yeah. So the Electoral Count Reform Act did pass early on in the Biden administration that wildly restricts the ability of the vice president to do anything. He has a constitutional duty now to certify the state vote, and the state legislature certifies that vote. So Congress can't actually hold that up. So the guardrails were actually made stronger in the wake of 2021. See, the thing is about President Trump in 2021 and January 6th, I didn't like any of that. Right. I'm one of the few conservative commentators who said I really didn't like any of what he was saying between November 6th and January 6th. I thought that it was wrong. I thought that he was making specious legal claims and all of the rest. Okay. With that said, here's the beauty of our Constitution and its guardrails. It was set up for people who tried to do the kinds of things that Donald Trump did. What it was not set up for was people gutting the institutions and then wearing them around as skin suits. So, for example, the Biden administration trying to use OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, in order to cram down vaccine mandates on 80 million Americans. Or, for example, the Biden administration actually mobilizing the Department of Justice against political opposition. It's always funny to me to hear people on the left suggest that Donald Trump is going to do that when he actually did not do that while he was president, but Joe Biden actually has.
Donald Trump
under his
did
DOJ.
Attempt to do that. He tried to get the DOJ to file charges against Hillary Clinton.
That is untrue.
No.
If he actually said he was going to do that in 2016, and then he never did that. That is not true.
He was unable to do that. It's not the same.
No, he didn't actually even try to do that. Jeff Sessions turned him down on many things. He didn't even make an effort to investigate Hillary Clinton under the DOJ. It's a critique actually many Republicans have of Donald Trump, who wish that Hillary Clinton had been prosecuted.
May I turn back to something you said about the core powers of the executive power relating to immunity? So you yourself said that using drones, using the military is a core part of the executive branch and therefore is covered by immunity.
Depends on the function of the military. So if you were to if I were to order SEAL Team 6 to say kill my political opponent, that would not be protected. And the way you know that's not protected, by the way, is because Joe Biden has not used SEAL Team 6 to kill Donald Trump.
If that's the case, then why didn't Chief Justice Roberts address that when that specific point was brought up in the immunity case?
Because Justice Roberts has a philosophy of judicial restraint that means that he likes to kick stuff back to the lower courts until it matures. That's part of his judicial philosophy. I disagree with it, by the way.
So it's
I think he should have spoken up on it.
ambiguous.
I mean, Justice Roberts is quite famous for leaving things ambiguous and then kicking them back to the lower courts where the legal term is ripen and then come back to the Supreme Court.
So
Thank you. I want to make
okay,
sure other people
no
have
problem.
time, but thank
you for your time.